Hey, what's up everybody? This is my review of the 1 to 100 scale Gundam Avalanche Exia. And here's a quick look at the box art. Now Bandai always does a great job with their box art, I have to say. See there? And without further ado, on to the actual model kit. And I don't have any other versions of the Exia. This is the only one I have, and I decided to go straight to the Avalanche because I just like the look of it. You know, it's got the 7 sword system on the back, as you can see there, and you'll notice on the shoulders it has these, I think they're called GN condensers slash thrusters, I guess, but they're mounted on the shoulder, whereas the normal Exia does not have all this bulk on the shoulder. So I like this look, this really beefy, bulky upper body. Now I wish they would have extended that down to the legs. Now I know there is the version of the Dash, the Avalanche Dash, which does have extra armor to really bulk up the leg part of this Gundam, or this model kit. But they only have the 1 to 144, well they only have the Dash and the 1 to 144 scale, so I was originally planning on getting both, but then I thought to myself, well, I'm just paying for paying for the same thing except for a few extra parts, and I'll have to build the same kit basically again. So I decided against it. You know, save 20 bucks and save some time in building a kit. But you know, if they ever come out with the 1 to 100 Dash, I would seriously consider buying it, even though I already have the Avalanche, the normal Avalanche. So pretty cool. Now, I guess I'll go straight into accessories here, show you what you get with the kit. You get these 2 extra hands. These are open palm, as you can see. And you get a set of 4 beams. You get a 2 shorter ones that are for the daggers. And you get 2 longer ones, which are the beam sabers, actually, or the swords, I guess. Not really swords, but sabers. But you can see the difference in length here. I'll show you. Right here, you can make that out. It's about the length difference there. So you get those, and let's take a closer look at the weapons accessories. And like I mentioned before, they're all mounted on the back. This is the 7 sword system. And you've got the GN blade, you got the short sword, the long sword, or I think they call them the long blade and the short blade, and then you got the 4 beam handles, or hilts. Let me go ahead and see if I can show you right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, if you can make that out. Really cool how they mount them on the shoulders like that, really cool. And I guess I'll go ahead and show you how the system works here, at least how they're pegged into the back. Starting with the GN sword, this mounts on the back. You can see here, you've got this little connector here that pegs into this polycap right there. So it's really a secure connection. And I think you can probably just mount it the other way if you wanted to. You know, where all the swords are facing down. But this is the correct orientation for the Exia Avalanche. Then you have these 2, the short and the long blade. And you can see they have this little adapter here, which is like kind of like a weapons rack. And the blades themselves come off. They just peg into a peg there. And I'll give you a closer look at these and kind of show you the difference in length between the short and the long. Here we go. Take a look there. You can see. And obviously, if you panel line them, they're going to look even better. So. But yeah, these just mount on the weapons rack like that. Well, actually not like that. I mean, you could mount them like that, but they're supposed to be mounted straight up. And they simply just peg back into the back of the shoulder here. I do want to point out something about these hands. Now, these hands do not have to be split apart like you normally do with a non-grade model kit in order to get the hilt or handle into the hand, because the way that they're shaped, you can simply just insert the the beam handle, for example, and it does work well in both hands equally. And you just put the beams in and you're ready to go, which is nice because typically what you have to do is put the hand apart, then you can put the handle in. Now I looked on the inside of the hand, and I didn't see any kind of tab or anything like that that would allow the handle to be, securely fastened in there. Because, if you just take the hand and of course if you move it upside down, the beam's gonna, the whole thing's gonna fall out. But I don't think there are too many poses where you're going to have to, want that effect where you're having the actual weapon held upside down. So, not a big issue there. And this works equally well with the sword handles, as I'll show you right now. So this is new to me. I mean, it may have been around for a while. This ability for these hands to just simply accept the hilts or the handles without having to split the hands apart, but it's new to me. So we take the handle here and stick it in, and it should go in like that. And same thing with the long blade here. So it's as simple as that. None of this taking apart the hand, putting the handle in, and then putting the hand back together. So that's a really cool deal. Now moving on to the GN sword, and most people know this, but I'll go over it just real quick, that the GN sword has 3 different functions. Defense, you can see there's a shield there. You've got a rifle mode, which is primarily this piece right here, and if you look at there you can see the muzzle right there. And it has a GN, the sword mode of course. You move this out like this, and then unplug this. And then what you can do is you can take this little tab here, goes into a slot right there, and you just line up the slot, put the handle on the hand, and you get something like this, which is really nice. And you can, manipulate the arm around if you wanted to for maybe a more dramatic pose, but yeah, that's basically, in a nutshell, the GN sword. Alright, so let's have a closer look at the stickers you have to apply to this kit. Starting with the head, you have the stickers for the eyes, the sticker for the forehead camera, the stickers on either side of the head, and you do actually have a sticker, a triangle shaped sticker on the back of the head here. And you have a silver sticker that goes around the GN drive inside of it. And then in the chest area here, you do have, in the central section of the GN drive, you have a sticker there. And on either side of the housing for the GN drive, you have a gray sticker on either side there. And on the forearms, if you can make out right here, this is actually a sticker. There's a corresponding sticker on the other side of the arm, and there's 2 more on this arm as well. And moving to the front skirts, if we pan the camera down here, you can see there actually are 2 stickers here for the front skirts. And moving to the back, sticker here, here, and on this central section right here. Now before I forget, if you take a look at the back here, you have a sticker here and here. And that is really it for the main stickers. Now what I really enjoyed about this kit is they actually included these celestial being stickers that you can put on the, I guess they're called the GN condensers right there. You can see right there, and a similar one on the other side. So really nice that they included those stickers. Sorry about that camera work there. And now we'll take a look at the articulation for this kit. So for articulation, as you would imagine, the upper portion in terms of range of movement is going to be limited by the armor on the shoulders here, as well as the 7-sword system on the back. So you do have that limitation as compared to the original Exia. And starting with the head is of course on a ball joint, but you also have that chicken movement, which is back to front like that. And if you take a look at these fins, and I know that's not the correct term, but I'm going to call them fins anyways. If you take a look at the fins here, they go up like that, and of course go back down. And you have movement at the shoulders. You can actually move the shoulders in, which also moves the section here in and out like that, which is cool. I like that. You've got rotation at the shoulder, and you actually have rotation at the arm. Arm, as you can see, it can go in and out like that. It's on a ball joint. You got a bend at the elbow, and of course you have your standard hand on a ball joint. Now what you have here on the side here, on the condensers, I believe they're called GN condensers, you can pull this out and up and reveal this kind of like thruster looking thing, which is cool. And a nice little touch there. Now moving on to the articulation for the actual torso. Well, it's somewhat is going to be hampered because if you take a look at the back here and just kind of peek in between all the 7 sword system, there actually is right there is a connector piece, and over here as well, that's that really rubbery plastic that's kind of a pale purple color, or a mixture of pale purple and blue, but they connect the the upper body to the waist section there. So, but as far as movement goes, side to side like that, rotation a little bit like that, and you can see probably that these are not actually solidly connected, which is another kind of problem I have. But nonetheless, you have movement a little bit like that. Now the front skirts can go forward just a little bit. They're on ball joints. And the back skirt actually moves as well. I was surprised to learn that, but as you can see there, it moves back and forth like that. Now, as you can see from the side, there are no side skirts. So the leg can go out to the side, it can go back, forward, and if you move the leg just right, if you kind of angle it to the side, you can get it up to about that position there. Now, as far as hip articulation, you do have rotation at the hip, you do have a bend at the knee, like so, and if you take a look here, you can see there's a little thruster here, and this moves up like that, and you also have moving down the leg, you have articulation at the ankles, as you would expect. This does move there, and this moves as well up front, and as you can see, you have a split at the bottom of the foot. So I will mention that you are left over with extra parts on the runners. Let me show you those real quick here. So when you finish building the kit, you will have leftover parts, and you can see here in the manual it X's out the ones you don't use right there. And let's just go through them real quick. Here is the A plate. Let me zoom out here. There's some clear parts left over. It looks like a shoulder piece for the normal Exia. Some vents there. Moving on to the B plate, you have just a single part here. This is for the shield for the normal Exia. And you got some more parts. Looks like this might be legs, or not legs, but the leg joints, or shoulder joints possibly. But you got these 4 parts here on the C plate. On the D plate, you're left over with this gray piece, which is part of the shield. And for the E plate, you have these parts here. And I think what these are for is on the normal Exia, you can actually mount the short and long blade on the hips. And I think that's what these are. These are the adapters for those, if I'm not mistaken. And finally, the G plate, looks like you get some shield parts, shoulder parts, and the housing for the GN drive, as you can see there. All the other plates are completely used to build the Avalanche. So that's another bonus. If you want to build the normal normal Exia, you can do that. You can just take all the parts off, and you can probably figure out how to go, or if not, you can probably go online somewhere